So for the people who join in, maybe before everyone will come and Geshe will start, you can do a breathing meditation, maybe stabilizing meditation. Yeah, until we start,
Yes.
just a couple of minutes.
Yes. Yeah? Yes. We'll do like 5 minutes breathing meditation. Shall we wait for 1 minute while people join in?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, we have 1 minute more. Okay, we have Maya, then Leora, and then the gentleman, I forgot his name, your name?
Iki?
Iki. Yes. Okay, Iki, nice to meet you.
Yes.
And then they are, say, Leora. Then we have the, Iritz. And we have, Limor. Yes, Limor. Then this, what is this? PC. Who's PC? I don't know.
Ragda.
Okay, then we have the Malka. Yes, Malka. Then we have here, okay, the Shahala is there. Then Venerable Kamachundula is there. Yaki.
Astale Gesla, Maji Yuring.
Okay. Okay, let's. Irit Shahala. Ani Tami. Steve. Rashidile Steve La. Rashidile. Oniza Nadaf. Rashidile. Nuwit. Rashidile. Hila Aylon. Rashidile Hila Aylon. Tami Horowitz. And Nisimla. Nice. Dine Chaya Bonstein. Tashidele. David Tashidele. David. Dine Roni Horowitz. Tashidele. Tsipila. Yeah, Tsipi Metal. That's the who's the one below you, below Maya?
I don't know if what I see you see as well, so if they changed.
Okay.
I see Leora underneath me right now.
I see. There is the name is in pure Hebrew. I can't read it.
I'll try and see. 1 second.
Okay, it is over there.
Maybe Adriana Goren underneath Maya. This is what I see.
Also Shoshana we have. Also Shoshana we have. I don't know.
It is over there. There's one. It is over there. Yeah.
This Erez also.
And then we have the Leora Kenneth. Leora Kenneth here. Yes. Then we have, now the Then Maya Ben Ephraim. Then who else there? Hila Ayalon. Then we have Nurit. Yes, Nurit. Then okay, Shahala. Okay, Shahala there. Shahala. Oh. Shahala. How is Karen? Keshat? Okay. Ani Inbal? Shahala? Oh, nice. Okay. Also, Maya, can we begin now?
Yes, of course, Geshe.
Okay. So we begin with the maybe first the Refuge, Bodhicitta, the stanza 3 times, and then the Ye Dharma mantra. Yeah. Okay, setting a proper motivation, and in a relaxed state. In a relaxed state, you can visualize, to the visualizations of all the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas. Come on, sir. Okay, so do the proper visualization of all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. And then your 2 parents and all dear sentient beings around you. And the purpose of this coming together is to activate the Buddha nature within us. With that in mind, let's recite this 3 times. Refuge and Bodhicitta. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. By my accumulations with practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. By my accumulations with practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. By my accumulations with the practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Let's recite this mantra 3 times. Ye Dharma mantra, the sutra of which we are going to study together. Ye Dharma mantra. Most of you know how to recite this. We'll recite this together, and those of us who are new, we listen to us and then join us. Ye Om Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhavam Hetum Tesham Tathagato Yavatat Esham Chayo Nirodha Evam Vati Mahashramanaye Svaha. Om Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhavam Hetum Tesham Tathagato Yavatat Tesham Chayo Nirodha Evam Vati Mahashramanaye Svaha. Om Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhavam Hetum Tesham Tathagato Yavatat Tesham Chayo Nirodha Evam Vati Mahashramanaye Svaha. The meaning of the mantra: all phenomena arise from causes. The causes are taught by the Tathagata. The cessation of the causes as well is taught by the great seer. Okay, continuation from where we left. So what we said is that the sutra is on page if you have this book, or otherwise Maya can show this. Maya can show it to the Maya can show this on the screen, the sutra. And okay. If you have it, well and good. If you don't have it, okay, good. Good. Thank you. So where we left was that the cause and effect. So we are undertaking journey from the state of suffering, where we are full of confusion, suffering, and so forth, to the ultimate state of awakening of one's own potential. This is the journey that we're undertaking. And for that journey means that it involves change from the state of miseries to the state of ultimate happiness, change. And change connotes impermanence. Impermanence means that the previous moment changes to the next moment. This is understanding. With this, the previous moment changing to the next moment is known as the cause and effect. The cause giving rise to the effect. In other words, what we can say is that the whole universe is operating. The whole universe is operating on the basis of cause and effect relationship. And this sutra, the Noble Mahayana Sutra, Dependent Arising, is about how the cause and effect is operating, and we should be given that we want to undertake a journey, which is the awakening of your own potential. For that matter, that journey should involve you embracing the conducive factors, and the causes and conditions for your journey to ripe into the intended result. So for that matter, let us first I will read this sutra, and you just listen to this, and then meanwhile, I'm going to go into the more detailed explanation of some nuances and some classifications and the cause and effect within that. What kinds are there in terms of cause and effect, and the cause and effect, say the natural cause and effect versus the law of karma, the cause and effect in the form of law of the karma. Okay. So it says, homage to Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Homage to Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. For your information, that all this is the translators, the homage. This is translators' homage system, which was developed in Tibet. It's very interesting, just for information, that from the homage, you can figure out what this text is all about. And the samadhi meditation is the subject matter, and the text is known as Sutra. And then the monastic rules and regulations, and the text is known as Vinaya. So from reading this homage, from there you can figure out what this text is all about. Same on the homage to Ara Manjushri. If the homage is paid to Ara Manjushri, then from this you can say that this overall text is about Abhidharma, or about the wisdom. Whereas if the homage is paid to all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, that is more, that is on what is known as the sutras of the three baskets, the sutras, meaning that which emphasize more on the samadhi or the meditation part. And finally, for the Vinaya, it says homage to the omniscient one. Omniscient one, So from this we see that this whole sutra, this is more falls under the category of the samadhi practice. Samadhi. Okay, so as we read this, thus did I hear at one time, and this one, this and the particular for all of us is very important for us to know as to why these are all. As the first one, homage to the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. This is addition by the translator. Then the thus did I hear at one time. This is the standardization of the compilation of the sutras. How is the standard? Saying that the sutras should not be diluted, and should not be diluted by including one's own views, your writings, so forth. Thus did I hear at one time. This is what I heard. This is not what I'm adding. This is connotation. So it is indicating the authenticity of the sutra. The Blessed One, referring to the Buddha, the Blessed One was in the realm of the 33 gods. The same within the desire realm. We see the desire realm. We divide that. Okay, first, some of you may be very new to the Buddhist concepts. So first, what we talk about is samsara, or say the one who has transcended samsara. They achieve nirvana, or the beings are known as arahats. So those in samsara, the place where the samsaric beings, the weak beings, take birth, this place is classified into three groups: desire realm, form realm, and formless realm. Desire realm is where I would say the desire realm is where the beings who take birth there, they are more obsessed with the external objects, central desire objects. So therefore that realm is known as the desire realm. Directed towards outside, central objects, desire realm. And the next one is form and formless. Form and formless, both are the realms where the beings take birth there only where their mind is directed inwards rather than outside central objects. They go inward into the meditation. When they go to deep meditation, and then of course we have to study them separately as to what are the classifications, what are the qualifications for somebody to take birth in the desire, in the form realm. Within the form realm, again, there are there are 4 layers, and then the formless realm, again, there are 4 layers. So what are the qualifications for somebody to take birth in this realm, that realm, so forth? Overall speaking, the form realm and formless realm, these two are known as the God realm, God. And within the desire realm, there's also one God. Say desire realm, we see that there are 5 divisions or 6 divisions: hell realm, Holy Ghost realm, animal realm, three low realms, and then human realm and God. And then you can also include the demigod. If you demigod, then 6. If demigod included in the God realm, included as God, then it becomes 5. So this God is the God of the desire realm. And then the form and the formless realm, these are the God of the higher realm. And the 33 gods, the realm of the 33 gods, these fall under the desire realm. So the Buddha was presiding over them. The Blessed One, the Buddha, was in the realm of the 33 gods. 33 gods means the realm where this particular realm of the God is known as the 33 God realms. Seated on the throne of the Indra. Indra was the king of the 33 God realm. So the Indra requested the Buddha to take his own seat. Indra, with him were great hearers such as the Venerable Ashvajit. The hearers meaning those who seek personal liberation, those who seek Shravakas. Okay, I don't want to go into too detail there. The great hearers or the Shravakas, such as Venerable Ashvajit, and a Bodhisattva Mahasatva, such as Noble Maitreya, Noble Avalokiteshvara, and then the the Vajrapani. So Arya Maitreya is uniquely known for his practice of so the display, the demonstration of his the loving kindness, and Arya Avalokiteshvara is primarily for his compassion. So these are the distinctive features. And then Arya Vajrapani. Arya Vajrapani is known for his display of the power. And it's very important that the Arya Vajrapani people, in fact, what we see is that that in the Tibetan tradition, oftentimes some of you who are already into the Tibetan tradition for so long, you may, and I see that many of you, you have your displays of the tangas behind you. I can see that. And then from this, we see that the Arya Vajrapani oftentimes is depicted as very scary, very the fearsome, the deity with fire around. In fact, I don't know what really made our ancestors to depict Arya Vajrapani in that form, so to display power. That's fine, but in actual fact, when of course he can manifest in various forms, but the normal form is not like a very scary one. It is like a very decent bodhisattva, very decent and a very compassionate bodhisattva. Okay, I don't want to go into this. And there's one separate sutra where Arya Vajrapani demonstrated his, the skills, the powers, and the Ashvajit, Ajat-Shatru, the king of the Magadha, who was the son of King Bimbisara. Ashvajit, Ajat-Shatru, who was the king of the Magadha. He was really, he had an air of, his physical might, physical power. And at one point, the Buddha Shakyamuni was presiding over the congregation, and Vajrapani was sitting on the other side, always holding a Vajra in his hand. Vajrapani, the holder of the Vajra, holding Vajra in his hand. And then the King Ajat-Shatru, he was so fascinated by the Bodhisattva Vajrapani's, the Vajra in his hand. What is that like? He's so curious. And then the Buddha through his clairvoyance sensed that King Ajat-Shatru was interested in Vajrapani's the Vajra in his hand. So the Buddha Shakyamuni instructed Bodhisattva Vajrapani, okay, the Vajrapani, why don't you put your Vajra on my table? And then Vajrapani put the Vajra on the Buddha's table. And then Buddha Shakyamuni invited King Ajat-Shatru. Okay, His Highness, King Ajat-Shatru, you can now pick up the Vajra. King Ajat-Shatru was so happy. He dared not ask this to the Bodhisattva Vajrapani. And then finally, he tried to pick this up. He could not even forget about picking it up. Even he could not move it. He could not even move it. And he tried, he couldn't move it. So he gave up that. And then he passed it on to King Indra. Indra, the king of the 37 god realm. King Indra tried it because King Indra is again known for using Vajra to fight with his enemies. So again, he was trying to pick up the Vajra, forget about picking up if he can't even move it. Then pass it on to the Muguliana. Muguliana, who is known for the miraculous power, and then in fact he was the one with the greatest miracle power amongst the student disciples of the Buddha Shakyamuni. And Muguliana also sat in the samadhi and then tried to pick it up. He could not move. And Muguliana finally gave up and then started to weep in front of the Buddha, saying that the Venerable Sir, now I lost my miracle power. All my miracle power already disappeared. And the Buddha said, no, your miracle power did not disappear. Your miracle power is just a miracle. It does not have that capacity. This Vajra requires a tremendous power to pick it up. And however powerful your miracle power is, it doesn't have that power. So the Buddha Shakyamuni invited the Bodhisattva Arya Vajrapani to pick this up. And then Vajrapani with his maybe thumb and the forefinger, with the two fingers, just thumb and the first finger, picked it up and threw the Vajra in the air and picked it and held it back. Then King Ajatashatru, having the air over his physical mind, the pride, he simply subsided, and he was so awestruck to see how amazing it is to see that Bodhisattva Vajrapani is so powerful. So Bodhisattva Vajrapani, of course, he is the Bodhisattva power. And then the king turned towards the Buddha Shakyamuni. He did not dare to even turn towards the Bodhisattva Vajrapani. He turned towards Bodhisattva and the Buddha and asked, how come that the Bodhisattva Vajrapani has such a power? And the Buddha then enumerated a list of 10 virtues to get such a power. The Buddha said that this power can only those people who practice bodhicitta, such person can have this. And precisely then a list of 10 virtues are given, 10 virtues, and such as taking care of the sick people, then taking care of your teachers, taking care of your the needy people, and the respect and devotion and so forth to one's teachers. All these things were given there, and maintaining a sense of humility and so forth. All the list of 10 were given there. This is Arya Vajrapani. Okay, now continue reading this. Who were adorned with immeasurable precious qualities, as well as various gods such as great Brahma, who is the Lord of Saha world, Narayan, the great Ishvar, Sakara, who is the chief of the gods, and Panchashika, who is the king of the Gandharvas. On their occasion, the Bodhisattva Mahasatma, Aravalokiteshvara, rose from his seat. Okay, so this was the background. And then the Aravalokiteshvara, he stood up. On that occasion, the Bodhisattva Mahasatma, Aravalokiteshvara, rose from his seat and having draped his upper robe, so in the form of the monk, an upper robe over one shoulder, knelt down with his right knee on the peak of the Mount Meru. Okay, on the peak of Mount Meru, his palms together, he then bowed towards the Blessed One, bowed towards the Buddha, and addressed these words to him. Blessed One, these gods, all the gods of the 33, the realm, all really wish to build a stupa. Now that they are present in this entourage, please teach them the Dharma in such a way so that the merit of Brahma will increase and the merit of the monks, nuns, laymen, laywomen will increase much more than that of all types of beings in the world of gods, Maras, Brahma, including renunciants and the Brahmins. So in other words, here is pretty self-explanatory. What the Bodhisattva Arya Avalokiteshvara was beseeching the Buddha is that the god and goddesses from 32 realms, they're all gathered here, and they're keen to learn how to build a stupa where one accumulates so much merit equals what is known as the Brahma's merit, more than the Brahma's merit. What should they do? This is the requirement. So in fact, this is, these are things that we can, instead of we speculating, okay, if you do this, this is the best virtue. If you do that, this is the best virtue. With these sutras, from there we can see the authentic the teachings of the Buddha. So where the Aravalokiteshvara, he himself made the request to the Buddha as to how to accumulate so much of merit within a short span of time by building a stupa and what that should be like, so that they accumulate so much of merit. At this, the Blessed One spoke the verses of dependent arising. This is so important. So the Buddha taught this Ye Dharma mantra. This is also known as essence of dependent arising mantra. Essence of dependent arising mantra. In Tibetan, it is known as Tendel Nyingbu Sunga. Tendel Nyingbu. Tendel means dependent origination. Nyingbu is the essence. Okay, So the mantra is Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhava Hetum Tesham Tathagato Hevatat Tesham Chayo Nirutam Evam Vadi Mahashramanai Swaha. This is the mantra. Okay, now I'm going to give so first I will read the meaning there, and then I will try to explain the word meaning. And then after this, then we will go into them again, say the more detail of this mantra, more detail into this mantra. Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhava. The meaning is also there, as can be seen in the display, all phenomena arise from causes. The causes are taught by the Tathagata. The cessation of the causes as well is taught by the great seer. Okay, this is the meaning of the mantra. Now for us, in practical terms, it would be very good if you can recite this mantra at least like 3 times in a day. And 3 times in a day. And this is extremely, of course, very precious mantra. And that this is a constant, if we recite this, I personally, after coming to sense the importance of this mantra, I personally say this mantra as often times as possible. Not only that I say it every day, but as often times as possible. Okay, first let me give just the surface meaning, and we can go do more detail. Ye Dharma, these phenomena. So why I'm giving these word meaning is for the reason that later on, when we recite this mantra, and practically speaking, from my own little experience, I also like to share a little bit of my personal experience. What's the benefit of reciting this mantra? And don't expect that, okay, some miracle must have happened to him. Don't expect that. This is not my style. In fact, my appreciation to the Buddha is not because the Buddha performed miracles and so forth. It's very different. So for me, practically, how it helps me is that it always reminds me of my Dharma practice, saying that Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhava. These phenomena arise from the causes. So what I'm seeking, the happiness that I'm seeking, is the result of the causes. The miseries which I don't want, they are also a result of the causes. If you don't want these miseries, and then stop these miseries, the cause of the miseries. If you want the happiness, embrace the cause of the happiness. This is always a reminder for me. We are all very ordinary beings. We always need reminders. And in the ancient Tibetan tradition, this is very important, particularly for people, like us, and more, I would say, the people, all the listeners, from the modern education background is very important, and I also from a modern education background plus the traditional background both. With this, I'm sharing this with you that with a modern education background, it has many good sides. Plus, it has one demerit. Good sides is that the people's thinking is very analytical. It's very analytical, and some people may be, the blind faith element is very strong. That is a different story. Overall speaking, people from the modern education system, they have very analytical thinking. Generally speaking, this is a benefit. And the Buddha's teachings is all about analytical thinking. Analytical, supported by single-pointed meditation. The two should go hand in hand. And analysis, within that, there are two. The pure, the wisdom and the compassion. So analysis in these two domains, wisdom and compassion, supported by the single-pointed meditation or shamatha practice, shamatha meditation. So this is the whole body of the text. So what I'm saying is that the people from the modern education system, the good side is that they are good in analysis, overall speaking. But the demerit is that we get a feeling, we have a feeling that everything's too mechanical, very mechanical. 2 + 2 = 4. We don't have to wait. 2 + 2, okay, wait for another 3 years so that we'll get the understanding. Answer is 4. No, we get it right now. 2 plus 2 is 4. So this is too mechanical, and we think we extrapolate. We extend the same thing, this principle, 2 plus 2 is 4, just so instant thing to all phenomena, like including Dharma practice. And Dharma practice is something which we can't really expect to feel the realizations within like 1 year, a few months, or 1 year, and so forth. So it has a very different, the system there. It is a very different mechanism there. This is something which we all have to keep in mind. So with this in mind, this mantra, Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhava. So this mantra, personally, when I recite this on a daily basis, I say that, okay, I'm just an ordinary person. I'm an ordinary person, but however ordinary I am, I have a basic desire for happiness and basic desire to shun the miseries. This is who I am. And given that I have so much of limitations, still I have to struggle. So without struggling, just by giving in, okay, no, I'm just an ordinary person. If this is how I do, I will never be free from suffering. This is the reality. So therefore, the point is that no matter how much we lapse, we have to struggle. So, and to struggle, we need inspirations, we need reminders. So this mantra is an incredibly great reminder for us that we struggle and we will succeed. Desham chayo nirodha. Nirodha meaning the cessation. The cessation is there. You can reach there. You can reach the state of the cessation suffering. Okay, so this is the manner in which we recite the mantra with of great benefit. Now, as we recite the mantra, and I would highly encourage that we have the word-to-word meaning coming in our mind. As we recite the mantra, make sure that the meanings are reflected. Meanings of each of the words are reflected in our mind. This is so important. Okay, so it's for this reason that I'm sharing with you not only the deeper meanings, also the superficial meaning, word-to-word meaning. Ye dharma, these phenomena, ye, these. Dharma, phenomena. Dharma has two connotations. Dharma in the form of dharma to be practiced. Dharma to be practiced, or I practice dharma, okay, the Dharma friends of Israel. So that is the dharma related in the context of the dharma to be practiced, the virtuous, the practices. Whereas the dharma here is not in that context. Dharma has, generally speaking, dharma has two connotations. One is dharma in the context of what you practice as a virtuous practice, and the other one is dharma in the form of all phenomena. A phenomena is in Sanskrit is also known as dharma. So here the dharma is the dharma in the context of the phenomena. So ye dharma, these phenomena. Okay. Hetu is cause. Cause, hetu, prabhava. Prabhava is arise. These phenomena arise from causes. Ye dharma hetu prabhava. And some people include om. Om ye dharma hetu prabhava. If you already include, you include it. If you don't want, no need. That's fine. Ye dharma hetu prabhava. These phenomena, okay, these phenomena, ye dharma, these phenomena hetu cause, prabhava arise. These phenomena arise from causes. Okay. So here, this phenomenon, again, some people who are more into very systematic studies of Dharma, you may have a little bit of the reservation about this. Dharma, ye dharma, this phenomenon may not have a cause, but here it says, ye dharma, this phenomenon are produced from causes. So phenomena here is not all phenomena. Phenomena of happiness and phenomena of suffering. Not all phenomena, because phenomena, for your information, is very important to know that the phenomena can be classified into two. Permanent phenomena and impermanent phenomena. If you're interested, I'll be very happy to go through these later on. permanent phenomenon, impermanent phenomena. What is being discussed here is the impermanent phenomena. Not all phenomena, but impermanent phenomena. And within the impermanent phenomena, some are irrelevant, some are relevant. What is of happiness, what is of miseries, these are relevant to us. The phenomena which are relevant to us in terms of the happiness, the cause of happiness, in terms of miseries, which we don't like, the happiness which we like, they don't arise randomly, they arise from the causes. Ye dharma hetu prabhava. Okay. Hetum tesham tathagato hyavatat. Hetum is the plural form of hetu, plural form of cause. Hetum means causes, plural form. Hetu is a singular. Hetum is the plural form. Hetum. Tesham is these. These causes. Tathagato is the one who has gone to the dustness, the one who has gone to the ultimate, the Buddha, referring to Buddha. Buddha is referred to as the Tathagata. Tathagato Hyavatat. Hyavatat means said or taught. Hyavatat. These causes are taught by the Tathagata. These causes are set by the Tathagata. Hetum, Tesham. Hetum is causes, plural form. Tesham, these. Tathagato, the Buddha. Hyavatat, taught or said. What these causes are is taught by the Tathagata. Okay, for the time being, I'm just focusing on the word-to-word meaning. After that, then we'll go into the actual meaning. Okay. The Hyavatat. Tesham chayo nirota. Tesham is again these, and chayo is like again the linking word. Tesham chayo these referring to these causes. These causes, nirota is a cessation. These causes meaning the causes of the suffering. These causes of the suffering. It is implicit, it's not explicitly mentioned here. These causes referring to the suffering. Causes of the suffering, nirota, the cessation of these causes, the causes of the suffering. Evam is thus, vadi is again said or taught, vadi. Cessation of these meaning these causes of suffering, thus said, vadi said by the Mahashramana. Maha is the great and Shramana is the saint or the seer, the great seer. Yesvaha is established as thus. It is established as the truth. This is the truth. It is established. It is established means this is the truth. Okay, so now this is the face value, the surface value, the surface meaning of the mantra. Now, when we recite the mantra, the minimum, this meaning must be reflected in the mind. And then I'm going to go a little deeper, and by going deeper, then we should be able to, as we read the mantra, as we recite the mantra, sometimes you may recite it so fast. That's fine, and preferably recite it slowly. Reciting slowly and the meanings reflected, deeper meanings reflected. The benefit would be the benefit of reciting one-time mantra just one time, with the meanings reflected, deeper meanings reflected, would be like 1,000,000 times more beneficial than reciting 1,000 times of the same mantra so fast without reflecting on the meaning. So this is up to you. Then you decide, right? Which do you want? You want the count or you want the merit? That you decide. Okay. So if you want to just finish if you want to finish your retreat, saying that, okay, so I finished this retreat now with the 100,000 times, 300,000 times with the count. If this is your the priority, then do it fast. And whereas if your priority is the transformation between you, and the benefit, then don't hurry on the count. Don't worry about the count. Simply recite the mantra slowly with the tune. How we recited. Om Ye Dharma. Like this, just recite it, and let the meanings flow in the word. And then as the meanings flow, then the goosebumps will come on your body. Goosebumps will come on your body. This is the transformation. Goosebumps are the indication of the deeper imprints of your mind getting activated. So this is the benefit. Now, let's go a little deeper into the meaning. Ye dharma hetu prabhava. These phenomena now, I'm not going to go into the surface meaning. These phenomena which we dislike, which we are so tired about, the miseries, sickness, aging, death, tension, fear. In fact, they say one moment of the fear, one moment of the tragedy, the feeling of uncertainty. For example, with the coronavirus, COVID-19, we see that so now people are more, immune to this. Mentally, they're more immune to this. Otherwise, initially, when the coronavirus started to spread, first when it started to spread in Wuhan, the news is coming out, and it's as though like nothing's going to happen in our place. Oh, there is something like, what is the corona? Something corona. Okay. So, and then where our mind is not really worried about it. And then slowly saying that, okay, now it is multiplying. It is the outburst has happened. Now it's the spreads to Singapore, the first was Singapore, and then to Iran, and then all over the world. Then the lockdowns happened. The first what I did was that hearing this, I could sense that now a major problem is going to happen. So what I did was that I sent a letter to Shaharla and I sent a letter to my friends in Europe saying that my travels will be cancelled. And they are saying that, are you sure? This was the question to me. Are you sure you want to cancel it? Are you sure? I said, yes, I'm very sure. I'm very sure. And then they said, okay, Kishila, don't worry, please take care of your health. I'm not really worried about me. I'm worried about the people there, people in Israel, people in Europe. Because when I come there, then by then, within a gap of like 1 month, for sure, everybody will become so cautious. And then within a short span of time, all the lockdowns happen, all the flights canceled from the various sectors, from the governments of the various nations. Okay, so then the people start to panic. Panic attacks start to happen everywhere. People talk about now we feel the uncertainty. Okay, this is what the Buddha taught 2,500 years ago, where we all have the experience of the fear, pain, sadness, so forth, but we never felt the feeling of the uncertainty of the whole world. This was what we never felt before. And the Buddha tried to explain this, that this is a reality, a hidden reality, a profound reality, which existed since time immemorial, and we are totally unaware of that. And because we're unaware of that, we never planned to exit samsara. So therefore, the Buddha said this mantra 2,500 years ago. He did not say it after the coronavirus situation. He taught it 2,500 years ago, saying that, so, okay, I'm sad. Mom, please spend more time with me. Okay, then, okay, I want to go on a holiday. I'm a little upset. No, holiday, wherever there's coronavirus. Holiday, coronavirus, picnic, coronavirus, fast hotel, coronavirus, airport, coronavirus, everywhere coronavirus, everywhere is uncertain. Everywhere you can contract the coronavirus. This is what the Buddha taught 2,700 years ago. And the worst of the coronavirus is a self-centered attitude, self-grasping ignorance. We already contracted these coronavirus since long time ago. So this is what the Buddha taught. Why we are scared of coronavirus? Because the coronavirus can kill us. And these two kill us every day. Self-grasping ignorance, self-centered attitude, they kill us every day. We are unaware of that. So the Buddha taught this here. Ye dharma hetu prabhava. All these are caused by, all these arise from their respective causes. The true coronavirus, self-grasping inner self-centered attitude within us. So this is what the Buddha taught. So therefore, with this, the fear of death, fear of constant death and suffering because of this, coronavirus can kill us only once, but these two kill us every time we take birth in samsara, endlessly many. So we are scared of only one coronavirus. We are not scared of the coronavirus which give us like incessant death, one after other, one after other, one after other. So this the Buddha taught. And I say that the people, some of those people during this lockdown and the coronavirus spread, some people, the fear, anxiety comes, and people are asking, please give us a message so that we can send it to people who are going through the anxiety problems. And some people, they said that, what to do, if everywhere is in the uncertainty. I said that those people who feel that, okay, it's very scary, what should I do? Please help me. When somebody feels like this is like a very immature understanding of the uncertainty, immature understanding of the anxiety state of anxiety. Whereas those people who feel that no matter where I go now, it's the uncertainty is there. No matter where I go, if that happens, this is what the Buddha taught as no matter where we are in samsara, is all just the suffering. So we have to get out, we have to exit. This is what the Buddha is teaching. Okay, so for this, ye dharma hetu prabhava, all these phenomena arise from causes, particularly the phenomena of miseries. They arise from causes, miseries. For example, for this, it's very important for us to reflect on the miseries that which we confront in our own life, like the loss of near and dear ones, which are so acutely painful, so acutely painful. People can really go crazy and they go hysterical. So this is what we have to think. And in fact, I remember one of my friends who's senior to me. In fact, he lost his mother, and when I met him last, he lost his mother, and he was like disoriented in his mind. And then at one point he was sharing with me about his experience. He said that I lost my mother just 1 or 2 months ago, and then now I don't see any meaning in my life. I don't see any meaning in my life. So when my mother died, then I lost the total interest in the life altogether. And he said that when he saw people walking, literally he could see. He said that literally he could see like a bunch of ash walking. For example, when I'm talking, he could literally see that a bunch of ash is talking. This is what he could see, because he saw his mother died, and then the cremation also happened. Cremation happened, and then because he loved his mother so much, this was what he was going through. He said that now there's no meaning at all in his life. So like this, such a pain, one incident of pain, actually, if we think about it, is good enough to just see the uncertainty of the life, uncertainty of samsara. So this is the meaning of ye dharma hetu prabhava. Then the next question is, what are these causes? Hetum tesham tathagato hyavatat. Hetum tesham tathagato hyavatat. So these causes are taught by the Tathagata. These causes are taught by the Tathagata, taught by the Buddha. Okay. So what did the Buddha teach? What did the Buddha teach? The Buddha taught that a pain, just very agonizing pain that we feel once in a while. We feel in once in a while. These pains will never leave us as long as these causes are there within us. And what are these causes? These causes are what the Tathagata taught, what the Buddha taught. Okay, This is very important. The question is, what are the causes the Buddha taught? What are the causes the Buddha taught? This is the question. So there we have to remember on the Aranigarjuna stanza. Aranigarjuna stanza. Aranigarjuna in his text, the fundamental wisdom of the middle way, the root wisdom, the fundamental wisdom of the middle way, or referred to as the Mula Madhyamika Karika, where the Buddha said, okay, so I'm citing Aranigarjuna's text in relation to this part. Hetum Tesham Tathagato Hyavatat. These causes are taught by the Buddha. So we ask the question, what are the causes which the Buddha taught as the causes of suffering? What are those factors which the Buddha indicated as the causes of suffering? So in this relation, I'm sharing with you, I'm citing Aranigarjuna's text. Aranigarjuna, in this text, Mula Madhyamika Karika, or the fundamental wisdom middle way, Aranigarjuna said, the stanza, one stanza, ceasing of karmas and afflictions is nirvana. Ceasing of karmas and afflictions is nirvana. Okay, it should be in this. It should be in this text. If Maya, you have the whole text, then I will show you this part. 280. 280. No. Okay, just wait. 210. Sorry, 210. Yes, 210. Yes, 210, the last verse number 18.5. Ceasing of karmas and afflictions. Instead of leads to nirvana, correct translation would be ceasing of karmas and afflictions is nirvana. Karmas and afflictions arise from conceptual thought. These arise from mental elaboration of grasping to existence. Elaboration ceases by or into emptiness. Okay, so we have the Maya. If you're interested for us to go for question answers, the half an hour, then I will wind this up in 3 minutes. Then we'll continue the next day. Is it fine? Good. Okay. So this stanza, what I would say is that all of us, please make it a point that we, if possible, memorize this stanza. In fact, Shahala is so good at memorizing. Yeah, Shahala, I remember that. Okay, I don't want to digress too much. Shahala is very good at memorizing. So this, we must memorize this stanza. For tomorrow, I'm going to go into more detail into this tomorrow. Ceasing of karmas and afflictions is nirvana. Karmas and afflictions arise from conceptual thought. These arise from mental elaboration grasping to existence. Elaboration ceases by or into emptiness. So before I go into detail of this, I'm going to give the broad overview of this stanza. This stanza, to understand this stanza well, in the first place, let us not forget that the purpose for me citing this stanza is for us to identify the causes of the suffering, which the Buddha indicated. Identify those factors which the Buddha indicated as the causes of suffering, which the Buddha taught as the cause of suffering. In this relation, I'm citing this stanza. To know this stanza, we need to know 5 points. 5 points there. Number one is, they say, the suffering we go through. Ceasing of karmas and afflictions leads to nirvana. The opposite of nirvana is samsara. Nirvana is taught explicitly, what is taught is nirvana, and implicitly samsara is taught. Samsara. So point number one, samsara or misery. And then this misery is caused by karmas, contaminated karmas. Number two, contaminated karmas. And the contaminated karmas are given rise to by afflictions. Number 3, afflictions. Number 3, afflictions are given rise to by the conceptual thought of inappropriate attention. Conceptual thought of inappropriate attention, or you can keep it just simple, inappropriate attention. Let me say this again. The first one is suffering or samsara, and the immediate cause of that is contaminated karmas, number 2. Then number 3, contaminated karmas are given rise to by afflictions, number 3. Number 4, afflictions are given rise to by the inappropriate attention. Inappropriate attention, which is indicated by the word conceptual thought. This conceptual thought refers to the inappropriate attention. If you want to keep it long, then the conceptual thought of inappropriate attention. This is number 4. Then number 5, this inappropriate attention arises from the mental elaboration of grasping at true existence. Mental elaboration of grasping at true existence. Okay, these are the 5 points that we have to remember. And tomorrow I'll go into more detail into these 5 points, and then later on these 5 points, we have to just scan our mind to see how our mind is operating on the basis of these 5 points, and then you see that, okay, where I have to improve, how these 5 points are operating within us. This is so important for us to, first of all, know these things well. Then on that base, once you are very convinced about these 5 points, then to scan your mind on the basis of these 5 points to see the what, when, where these 5 points are operating within your mind. Okay, this is what we're going to go into more detail tomorrow. So the 5 points, let us not forget this. Let me again give you very quickly. The first point is suffering. Then suffering is given rise to by contaminated karmas. Number 2. Number 3, contaminated karmas given rise to by afflictions. Then number 4, afflictions are given rise to by inappropriate attention, which is referred to as the conceptual thought here in this stanza. And this inappropriate attention is given rise to by the elaboration of self-grasping ignorance, grasping at true existence. Elaboration of self-grasping ignorance. These 5 points, please make it a point that we have these 5 points on our fingertips tomorrow. On our fingertips tomorrow, I can see from your face if you have them on your fingertips. Okay, so I'd like to invite the questions now. Maya, is all right that we invite questions now? Yeah, the first question, I think from where somebody asked this morning about the distinction between nirvana and Buddhahood. Okay, let's say that technically, first I like to give it in a very simple way. As to what's the difference between nirvana and Buddhahood, in a very simple way. And then we can go into the technicalities. In the simple way, it is like when you are a very young child. How many of you have been a young child once upon a time? How many of you have been a young child once upon a time? All of us, yes. Okay, when we are very young, like age 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, we are so excited. We are so excited to finish our high school. And then if I finish my high school, then I'm the adult now. Okay, this is what we are what are we looking for? It's like a liberation. In nirvana, we are seeking nirvana from the parents, what do you call it? Some people describe it as overly possessive, or what is that? There's one word. Overly protective. Yeah. So you'll be liberated from being overly protective. So this one liberation. This one, which is very gross. And you go into the college, then the parents are more lenient, less protective about you. You can freely go here, there, whatever. Okay, then the next is, okay, now I need a job, I need to finish this. After this, then I have to go for placement. And then once you get a job, then it is like a full liberation. Okay, likewise, our mind, we are being trapped. And we are being trapped by the mental defilements. We are being imprisoned. And the prisons, there are like 2 kinds. One which is a relaxed prison, more freedom there. One is an extremely, what is that? The very strict cells where you are just put in a very tiny cell, that's it. And where the others is a prison, but you can freely roam around here and there. So likewise, say at the moment we are in a very rigid prison of afflictive obscurations and the cognitive obscuration, both. We are in a very rigid prison. That is samsara. So when you are first relieved from the first level of the gross mental defilements, then this is the freedom where you don't have to go. We don't have to go through the involuntary birth, sickness, death, and so forth. This is a great freedom. This is known as nirvana. But you have many limitations. Limitations are we cannot really benefit all the beings. We don't experience infinite happiness. We don't experience that. So when you are liberated in the second phase, liberated from the cognitive obscurations, then you experience, not only you experience the fearlessness, but you also experience the infinite happiness. This is then total Buddhahood. In other words, where your mind knows every atom of the universe. Okay, for that matter, this question is a very serious question, the distinction between the nirvana and Buddhahood. For nirvana, we need to know what exactly is afflictive obscurations. Afflictive obscurations, we have to know so well, and then how this afflictive obscurations, it creates limitations, it attracts problems within me, it attracts fears within me. Then the cognitive obscuration, this is very complicated. Number 2, cognitive obscuration. So for this, we have to have more studies about emptiness. And I'll be very happy to explain what this cognitive obscuration is, although it's a very complicated subject, but particularly from the Dharma Friends of Israel, people who are taking interest in the Dharma for all these many years, I would highly, highly recommend, don't give in easily, that even if you find difficulty, finding people who can really explain what cognitive obscuration is in a very convincing way, it is very important that we have to study that. What is cognitive obscuration? And how the cognitive obscuration within us, like the smell of the garlic, how that hinders us from becoming omniscient. That is a very serious question. You must be able to get this answer. So if you don't get the answer from person A, you must ask it from person B. If not from B, from person C. This is where, but for that, don't expect that we don't put effort and then Albert Einstein to teach you a relativity theory for 1 hour and you get relativity. Don't expect that. We have to put effort. We put effort and listen to some teachers, and if you don't get convincing answer, you continue to put effort and again listen to another teachers. This is how there must be combination of the two. The teacher's insight and the skills and your effort must go together. Eventually you should understand what is cognitive obscuration. Only then when you, okay, now omniscience is, now I understand what omniscience is. May I become Buddha for the benefit of all sentient beings. When you say this prayer, it becomes very powerful. Otherwise, it just becomes words. Okay, more questions?
Yeah, there is two written ones, but also you can ask. Geshe would also.
Hi.
If you can ask, yeah.
Can you hear me? Yes.
Yeah, I can hear you.
My question is, what is the proof that the suffering of death depends on a cause?
Okay, this is a good question. Suffering of death and suffering of death, we have to make a distinction. Death is the termination. Death is the termination of the body, and the suffering of death is the pain that you feel over the termination of the body. For example, let's say that, okay, now I'm going to die. Die means my body is going to terminate. So there's a fear accompanying that. That fear is the fear because of the impending death. Because of this death. So this fear is coming, just for information, a very important point is that any fear comes to our mind, any uneasiness comes to our mind, should necessarily involve should necessarily involve this self-grasping ignorance. Self-grasping ignorance should be there, should be actively taking part in the actual event of the experiencing of any pain, any uneasiness, including the fear of death. So the self-grasping ignorance, it serves as, say, for example, if somebody shoots an arrow to you, say the person is like half a kilometer away from you. The person that released the arrow. So that is a cause. That is one cause. Then the arrow is in the air. Well, if the arrow is in the air, you are not suffering. Then the arrow hits you. When the arrow hits you, if you don't have the armor, or if you're not protected by wood or by metal or something like that, then this arrow can actually pierce you and create pain in you. So there you need a fragile body. If your body is like a metal, then again you don't have to worry about the arrow. So first the person, he released the arrow, this is one cause. Next, you not having a very strong body is another cause. So likewise, say we experience any pain is because of the negative karma. So that karma was first shot by the ignorance, self-grasping ignorance. One. Then when that karma, the arrow of the karma keeps flying, and then finally it hits you. Closer towards the death, it hits you, then there's a fear of the death. It hits you, and your body is so weak that you're going to die. So there, again, the panic, fear comes in you. So for you to feel the fear, again, the self-grasping ignorance one must be there at that moment. If you don't have the self-grasping ignorance at that moment, although the self-grasping ignorance triggered this arrow from the, say, several lifetimes ago, but at today, this life, if you have already gotten rid of the self-grasping ignorance, and if you achieve arhatship, then even if you die, your mind will be at peace. Your mind will not be disturbed. So it requires these two factors as the causes for the suffering. In other words, for any unease, even the slightest unease, self-grasping ignorance must be operating there as a cause.
And what would be the proof, if I can ask a follow-up question?
Yes.
What would be the proof that death itself, not the suffering of death, but the death itself is dependent on a cause, on something?
Okay. This is a good question. Say this is a very good question. Thank you so much. Let's say that we think about our body and our mind. Our body, the body is generated. Body, we get it from our parents. Got our parents, and then the body to operate very successfully with this mind for like 80 years, 90 years, or in some cases 100 years. 100 years. So this body has a lifespan, and this body, because the body has the nature that the body that we have has the nature that it is produced, it is bound to degenerate. It is bound to degenerate. This is the nature of the body. This is the nature of the body. Any body, there's 7 billion human beings. There are 7 billion bodies there. All these bodies, they are born cute. And then at the age of 5, 6, 7, they're even more cute. And then age 19, 20, okay, then age 35, then then the wrinkles start come. And then age 40, white hair, 30, 40, white hairs come. And the cute is gone. So this is a law of nature. Law of nature. This is where the body is finishing its life expectancy. So the end of that body is known as the death of the body. So that is because of the previous moment of the, it is in the full form and then dies. Like the flower, it blossoms, bud, and then it blossoms, beautiful flower, and then withers. This is the law of nature. So the later moments, they are the results of the previous moments. So previous moments, they are the causes. And then for our body, it's not only previous moments, there's something which is much more hidden. which is the law of karma. The karma is there as the propelling, as to decide that this body terminates in 70 years, 80 years, 90 years, the karma decides.
Mhm.
And then how do we know that that karma is responsible? This requires a lot of more discussions. It's a very interesting discussion related to Pramana Vartika chapter 2. Pramana Vartika chapter 2 by Acharya Dharmakirti is a very interesting discussion and a very heavy discussion also.
Okay, thank you.
If you're interested, we have Pramana Vartika, the teachings already done in several places. All these recordings available. I'll be happy to provide you with the recording link to these teachings.
Yes.
Okay, so we have Limor also. 1 second, Geshe.
Yes.
Tashidere,
Dorji,
yeah, thank you for the teaching. My question is about my practice of compassion. I find it very, very hard, even though I practice for some years now, but I feel like a very, very beginner in this aspect. I find it very hard to practice compassion when I see abuse, and especially if it feels like the people who abuse others are even enjoy that. So I can see that in governments, I can see this in industries, and I can see this also in personal life sometimes. So occasionally, you know, when I sit on my pillow, I can feel a bit of compassion for their suffering and ignorance. And when I try to think about the delusion of phenomena, I feel something there. But then in my daily life and my daily connections and daily strugglings in this country, there are some struggling. So it's very hard for me to feel compassion towards those kind of people. So I would be happy to hear your advice.
okay, this is an extremely practical question. Thank you so much. Very practical question. And always in our journey of life, we need two things. One is the immediate measures and the long-term measures. Immediate plan and the long-term plan. This is very important. Immediate plan, we should not feel burnout. If you feel burnout, this is the greatest failure. You feel burnout, you give up. This is the greatest failure. So immediate, make sure that you don't feel burnout. You remain strong. And meanwhile, make a proper long-term plan, right? So about this, the Buddhist teaching of compassion, the same. Some people can apply it right there and then. Some people may not be able to apply it right there and then. We have to have particularly in the context of the government, in the context of the large scale involvement of the politicians, business people, and the corporates and so forth. It's a large scale. On the large scale, the larger the area, more the skill is required for compassion. So the compassion, one is the ordinary compassion, other one is known as the skilled compassion. Skilled compassion. So for the skilled compassion, you need a lot of information and strategy. So in the government means it's a huge area. It's covering the whole nation. So for that, there is a specific body known as the strategist to make the strategies for the nation. So these people require a lot of, they should be very bright. They should have a lot of information. Likewise, we should have the whole nation, whole strategy within our own mind about today, about your immediate circle, then about the long term for the larger, say the whole nation, for the whole world, and this life, next life, and so forth. We need both. So in other words, what I would say is that first, when you see these unjust things happening, abuse and so forth happening, it is very important. It is very important that these must be brought to justice. This is very important. It should not happen out of anger. If it happens out of anger, this is the greatest failure. With anger, your sense of thinking will be reduced. Your power of thinking will be reduced. You cannot think wisely. You should not give into anger. Anger, why? Anger is so to punish the person, right? Punish the person. Actually, anger punishes you, not the person, because you will start breathing heavily. And then you will start, shouting at your mother, who loves you so much. You are punishing your mother now. So the anger is the greatest sign of weakness. It's not the sign of strength. You can bring this abuse to justice without surrendering to anger. This is very important, number one. Meanwhile, in some cases, we should be very practical. Some cases, the abusers, they are so powerful. They're so powerful that you try to go there, you'll be in problem, right? If this is what happens, then we should be very skillful, never ever surrender mentally, never ever surrender. Think of how to make this, how to make how to expose, how to how to make what you have in your mind to come true, right? So in the process you are learning. So that the fact that other person is so strong means we are weak, right? So this other person is making you become stronger by thinking more. The more you think, then you will get all these proper way of tackling situations. And likewise, this is not only the abuse. You are bound to see many other abuse happening. And in the process, you learn from this, you learn many other skills to tackle other abuses. So this is in a way is a great blessing in disguise. So therefore, the point is that mentally never ever give up. Give up. Number two, never ever give in to anger, and think more. Think more and look for friends. Look for like-minded friends. From there you can connect to a big shots and who can actually tackle the situation very well. So these are the strategies that we need to keep in mind. Deep inside, we are all like small children. If you have 3 children, and one is they all like age 3, 4, 5. One is so naughty. One is extremely naughty. Would you be angry towards the child? No, it's a small child, right? So all these big, what we call big shots, they're not really big shots. They're small shots. Everybody is very small children. Abusers, they're the smallest ones. Smallest people, it is like the smallest person having the youngest of the child having the fire in his hand. The person will destroy the whole family, right? So therefore, these abusers, they are not really big shots. They are really mentally very small. So our job is never to give in, think of the skillful compassion. So meanwhile, we have to grow. Good people should grow. Good people should become stronger. Stronger meaning grow and to have a proper strategy to make things work, that the compassion overrides the evil. That's very important. I wish your question is, I wish that, your question is more precise with the very specific example so that I can, go into this into more detail. But your question is very important. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Geshe, so we also have a question written down by Dalit. Is the conditional circle of formation part of what is called relative truth?
Okay, is it written?
Yes, it's written. It's in Hebrew. Dalit, do you want to ask maybe in?
Yes, Dalit.
I don't know.
Okay, is the conditional circle of formation part of what is called relative truth? I think this question. This is from the...
Yes, this is from Dalit. It's in Hebrew, so.
Okay, yes. Is the conditional circle of formation, okay. conditional circle formation. What do you mean by that? If Dalit is here, I would be very happy to see your face, and then so that you can clarify this question to me.
Yeah, 1 second. I cannot unmute her. 1 second, I'll try to.
דלית כתבה שיש לה בעיה במיקרופון.
So Dalit wrote that she has a problem in the microphone.
Okay. Okay. So because is the conditional circle of formation. What do you mean by that? Is that about the conditional circle formation generally, samsara in general, or conditional circle formation meaning the pervasive conditioned suffering? What he or she meant by that. So I would say to be very direct, technically, answer is yes. It falls under the category of relative truth or conventional truth. That's true. But then to make sense of that, we have to know what exactly the person is trying to say. Conditional circle of formation.
Yeah, so Dalit, you can write it down if you want, and then we can read it if you cannot speak. She said in a general way.
Okay, general. Okay, if it is general, then yes, then it falls under the category of the formation, the circle of conditional formation, the circle of formation meaning the formation, creation, formation samsara, formation of our birth, and so forth. All this formation, they fall under the category of the dependent origination of cause and effect. Cause and effect necessarily falls under the relative truth, conventional truth. And if tomorrow, if time permits, I'll be happy to go into a little bit about the relative truth or the conventional truth and the ultimate truth. And then from there, we'll easily get the picture as to how this, the conditional, the cycle of formation falls under the relative truth. It'll be pretty easy tomorrow. Yeah.
So we have one more time for one question. It's okay, Geshe?
Yes, sure.
Okay, so if someone wants to ask, please you can or raise your hand or do this smiley thing so we can know that you have a question.
Yes.
Let's see. Okay, I have Ben wants to ask. 1 second. I'll try to.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes. Your name?
Hello, Geshe, Ben.
Ben. Okay, Ben.
Thank you so much for the teachings. I have the question about the karma. So we study a lot in our Buddhist studies about karma and how karma from past life can project us to the next life and so on. So many of this stuff I can read and understand, like what the teacher is saying, you are saying. But I'm asking myself, how can I get real conviction in this? I mean, I cannot see how even through contemplation and endless studying and contemplation, how can I get
okay? Yes. I really understand what you are saying. Okay. So basically we can study this, but then I don't really feel convinced about it. So how can I be convinced of this? I don't really see it. Okay, this is a very good question. So what I would say is that when we speak about the existence, the phenomena, it is of three kinds. One is the manifest phenomena, evident or the manifest phenomena. And again, the second one is slightly hidden phenomena. And the third one is very hidden phenomena. There are three categories. So before we go into exploring karma and so forth, you can study. But in terms of gaining the conviction, what I would say is that first try to gain conviction in the truth of these three kinds of phenomena. One is the evident phenomena that, okay, I can smell the cheesecake. Okay, now the lockdown is over. I can go and grab the falafel. In fact, the falafel, you must be missing falafel a lot. The falafel, okay, yes, if I go I can smell it from there. If I go there, I'll get it. This is very evident phenomena. There's second kind, which is slightly hidden phenomena. For example, I have never seen atom. I've never seen atom, but I learned about atoms for all these many years. And then it is something that if I explore a little bit, then I can get conviction in this, atoms. Number 2, this is known as slightly hidden phenomena. Then number 3 is that, for example, my birthday falls under the category of the very hidden phenomena because this is something which I cannot see with my own eyes. Because at that time I was just the 1 year old. 1 year old, I can't have the memory of that today, right? And then I have no concept of year. Year has 365 days and it has 12 months. I have no concept of that day when I was born. So, but today I say that, oh, this is my birthday. And how do you know that? Are you sure this is your birthday? Yes, I'm sure. How do you know that? Because I didn't see it. It was not evident phenomenon. No, I can rationalize. I can rationalize that. I have to only believe in the authentic source, my mother. So that is the third category known as the very hidden phenomena. There are 3 kinds of phenomena. So the law of karma operating falls under, luckily, not in the third category, in the second category. Second category, where if you can study in a very systematic, with a proper source, you will get there. Guaranteed you will get there. It falls in the second category. Our modern education, one of the flaws, not really flaws, I would say, one of the limitations of the modern education is that the demerits of the modern education is that we are always taught something so mechanical, something so evident phenomena. Most of the things we learn in a modern education, they are evident phenomena. So because of which, our mind is so addicted to seeing the evident phenomena. If I show you this, if I show you this, Ben, if I show you this, you will say that, oh, Geshe has a juice there, right? Then if I show you this, you will say that Geshe has a rosary there. Then if I show you just the very extremely thin, very clear glass, you will not see anything. What is you doing now? Right? You will not see the glass. Not because nothing is in my hand. There's something there. It is much subtler than the other 2. And your mind is, you think that again, Geshe is going to bring a book or something like this. No, this time I bring up a very transparent, extremely clear, transparent glass. And you think, what is he doing? Right? He's not holding anything. Yes, I'm holding a glass. You will not be convinced. You're getting it till your mind, you believe in me that I'm holding something there. And not only that, you look at it very closely, then gradually you will see a shiny glow there. There's a glass that you will see it. Likewise, the reality that we learn from the modern education is mostly the manifest phenomena. Only when we're convinced that there are 3 categories of phenomena, then you will become the more you can accommodate what is taught of the slightly hidden phenomena like the operation of karma and so forth to be meaningful. For that, then okay, for the karma thing, the most important thing is first we usually gain conviction in how there's a mind which is different from the brain. This is the crucial point. Once you get it, then the karma issue of the karma and all these things will be solved more easily. And if you're interested, again, it is Pramana Vartika chapter 2.
Thank you very much, Geshe. I'll give the hope your words. Thank you.
Welcome, Ben.
Okay, Geshe, thank you so much. So we ran out of time. So
Very interesting discussion. Thank you, Maya.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's just wonderful to have this opportunity to, listen to you and hear from you. That's just amazing. Thank you so much for dedicated from your time to teach us.
Welcome,
So-
welcome. And our friend our friend Mr. Hans. Mr. Han is there. Mr. Han, yeah, okay. And Nisim? This is Nisim. Yes, Nisim is there. And this young girl, Maya Ben Ephraim. Okay, so thank you, each and all, every one of you. Thank you so much. And Maya, thank you.
Thank you. And just to remind everyone that we have from 2 to 3 with Yakila. We have also questions and answers. And Geshe, we will see you tomorrow morning. This is, I was just so happy. Yeah. So
Thank you, Geshe.
Okay, Perila there. Oh, Perila. And okay, all my friends are there.
Hello, Geshe.
Okay, hello. Yeah, all my friends are there.
Stay safe.
See you all tomorrow.
Thank you, Geshe.
Thank you.
Thank you. It was wonderful. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Thank you.
thank you, Geshe.